Hello and welcome to the Selflove Journey Podcast. I'm so glad you're here because this is your space to explore the path from food cravings to freedom, heart-connected living, and shining your authentic light. I'm Kendra, your host and a heart coach. My vision is inspiring purpose-driven individuals to thrive with food, yourself, and your life, creating a life of joy and fulfillment. If you've ever felt stuck in guilt or shame around food, or dreamed of waking up feeling at ease, joy, energized, and free, this podcast is for you. I believe we have all the wisdom in our heart, and together we will reconnect with this wisdom. Check out the show notes for more details on my offerings, and let's start. Grab your journal, take a deep breath in, and enjoy this moment for you and your heart. Let's begin this beautiful journey, your self-love journey. Welcome to this exciting episode. I'm really excited to share with you my experience from a 10-day silent meditation retreat that was all about, connecting more to the heart, aligned with the Selflove Journey Podcast, and where it's all about authentic living, heart connections, and dealing with disordered eating. And this time, this 10 days silence for me, were another step on my own healing journey, on my own journey to find myself. Who am I? To be more connected with my heart. And maybe also I still understood some patterns around food. So this episode is all about sharing you this huge immersed journey I had to my heart, this reconnection to my heart. I replied to some of your questions that came through Instagram that were like, was it really worth it? And also, what was the schedule, structure? And wasn't it difficult to not speak? And also I will explain you a little bit the different styles of meditation, my experience in the meditations, the insights I got. What does it mean to really live with an open heart? What were maybe also some frustrations around the way? And it was my birthday, doing this 10 days. So it was really in silent and still on my birthday and how it was. And then for sure, how do I integrate the retreat in my day-to-day? I have my journal here with me because we were allowed to journal, and I was writing 60 pages. And I will go a little bit through them so I don't forget the key things. But just following the heart that it comes, what you need to hear now. So just that you can understand a little better what I'm talking about, 10-day silent meditation retreat. So I did it here in Mexico, where I'm currently living in Mazunte, in the yoga ashram called Hridraya. And Hridraya in satsang means the spiritual heart. And that was so aligned with what I'm doing with myself, because it was really this immersion into the heart. The meditations were guided into our heart. The satsangs were about the spiritual heart, about how to live heart open, about love, about surrendering, about death, but about the ego, and all coming back always to the heart and embrace life with a more open heart. So it was not just a personal experience for me, a reset, it was also education, so it was so amazing. It was all of it. So, and I didn't stay there. I live 5 minutes walking, so I went every day there. So you just imagine a little bit. And just as a first quick summary, for me, it was such a wonderful experience. It was way more than I expected. I thought, it's so nice. I gift myself for my birthday, time to meditate, to journal, to just read with my heart. In the breaks to jump into the ocean, because from Mazunte is directly by the ocean. From the ashram, you can see the ocean, and it's super quickly, you're by the beach. And I did 3 days 2 months ago, and it was so amazing. So I thought, I can do 10 days for my birthday. wow. But I quickly realized it was way more than it. It was way more. It was really about finally going completely out of the mind and feeling, embodying this heart connection. I felt on a deep, deep level this inner light shining. And for me, it was this reset, like I could calm my entire nervous system down. It was this reset and this eye-opening, this mirror of where I'm currently in my life. I'm not at ease, not so joyful, not so much in inner peace, where I'm still maybe sometimes identified with the ego, and where I go back in the stress and this anxiety. And it was so, maybe for people surrounding me, obvious, but I didn't see it. So it was this wow, my heart showed me so much wisdom, with so much love and compassion, that it was for me, hopefully, and I commit to it, not just like a nice 10 days retreat. It was really like the next step to my next level, to feel more at ease, more joy, more gratitude on the day-to-day, to see the magic of life. Because if I'm completely honest with you, I'm currently living my dream life. I forgot to see it. I forgot to be grateful for it. Being in the trap of the ego, it needs to be always more, 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 more. Focus on fulfilling others' expectations, of seeing other results, of more, of more, of more, instead of calming and being in the present moment and enjoying. And that's like the first question. So yes, the retreat was really, really worth it. It was so powerful. And I think for everyone it's worth it, because it's 10 days for you and your heart. And our heart is this beautiful organ, and it's obviously way more than an organ, also the spiritual connection that stores where our soul is at home, where our essence is at home. So it stores all the wisdom about who we are, what we want for in life, what's our visions, what we need, what really fulfills us, what makes us happy, what is currently not working, what is limiting us, where can we invite more abundance in our life, more ease. It's this inner voice. It is more than a voice. It is inner guidance, full of love, compassion, generosity, but also dedication, grace, wisdom. That is always there, always, always. And something that I really felt, and I resonated with me when they talked about it in the retreat, is the door to our heart is always open. The door is always open. It's unconditional love. So if you feel, but I never connected to my heart, I once did, now I'm not doing it anymore. Maybe I have this bad behaviors. Maybe you're also trapped in cycles of emotional eating. I'm feeling, but then I'm not really taking care, not really nourishing my body. I'm always acting against me with all maybe addictions you might have, all this self-criticizing thoughts, the self-judging thoughts. And then sometimes you might be like afraid that our heart gets mad, universe, God, whatever you want to call it. No, but it's not. As the door is always, always open, we can always trust this divine timing. So this is a little hint. I will dive deep more into it. So just to give you then the background, again, like the picture, like the schedule, how was it? As so many of you ask. So it started at 7 in the morning. From 7 to 9, we had the first morning meditation. And the first days, there was a break after an hour. And then later we were really sitting 2 hours. But you were allowed after an hour to maybe do a little toilet break. And then there was the breakfast. And you know what, as a first hint on my experience, I was so surprised. Usually, like now, I'm sitting here in this yogi squat, or in this, I don't know, just now the English word. And already my back is a little bit hurting just doing this episode after 8 minutes, But I had a meditation where it was 2 hours really sitting in stillness, not moving my legs, and they were not falling asleep. That was so mind-blowing to me. I would have never thought that I'm able to do it. But these were the meditations where I really went deep, where I was really one with my heart. Other meditations where I didn't go so deep, where I was a little bit still in my thoughts, my legs fall asleep. That's so impressive. So it was so beautiful to starting in the mornings with yourself, checking in and just being like in stillness and silence, not following all the thoughts, because the phone was all the time in flight mode, right? We were not allowed to look in the mirror, there were no screens. So it was really 10 days of not using the phone, of not being on the computer, of nothing, of not talking to others. So with every day, the meditation could go deeper because there were not so many thoughts of other things going on, more of the core from your essence. And then we had the breakfast, and that was also such a highlight for me. First of all, it was so yummy food. It was really, really, really delicious. It was vegan, but wow, so elaborated, so nourishing. So then this hour of breakfast, I usually took my plate. I was not eating in the eating dining room. Yeah, because also like you're sitting there with other people, you're not allowed really to look them into the eyes and all of this. So it was like, I felt like I wanted to eat like with this open view. So I was sitting on the terrace, looking at the ocean. It was like this hour where I really ate mindfully, slowly, consciously, really savoring each bite, All of this is what I'm teaching my clients or people who are reaching out to me to build a healthier relationship with food, a more normal, where we eat without guilt, where we really feel the pleasure of eating, where we are not controlling or restricting ourselves, where we are just in tune with our body and eating what really nourishes us. So there, I really practice it. Like usually I do it, but sometimes I'm also like, it's honestly, then you have the next meeting or you need to go somewhere, there's time stress. So then you eat maybe a little bit quicker. Or sometimes you think you are eating consciously. So I never have my phone, never have a computer, anything. But sometimes lost maybe in my thoughts. And then I realized, oh, I was not so present with the food. I was more present with my thoughts. And there I could really be present with the food. And also it was interesting. My body showed me like, with body sensations. And one day there was a breakfast I didn't really enjoy it so much. A plate. But then I was like, I ate it. And later I had a little bit belly pain. And I didn't feel so energized as usually when you eat cat. So I was like, oh, interesting. I should have listened to my body because after the first spoon, I had this thought like, better go home. I'm living 5 minutes from it. Better go home and prepare your own food. I was like, no, because it was not that I had an entire hour because I already had the food, and after the meditation, usually it took me a little bit to go out of the meditation again. So I had like still maybe 40 minutes. So it was like, going home, preparing. It's all a rush. It's all stress. It's unnecessary. So I just ate it. But no, later I felt it, So this was also, but it was beautiful for me. It was a beautiful learning experience that I'm more and more aligned with my body, nourishing it, caring for it. Because, when you are coming from an eating disorder, from bulimia, you're so disconnected. You're just putting all the food in your body, not really being aware of the signals, if you're satisfied, if you're still hungry, what would nourish your body, what it needs, what gives you energy in this moment. So this was a really nice awareness, that I had it. And also, like where we're talking about food, in the lunch breaks, I prepared lunch at home. And it was a nice way to be really calm while preparing already the food, while cooking. So I realized eating already starts with the preparation, of being there, mindful of doing it, carrying. It's a self-love act in the end, because you're preparing something that nourishes you, this body, this temple where we are living in. And I want to talk also about this later. But that because sometimes I prepare food, to be honest, listening to a podcast, having a phone call or whatever, and then you eat. But isn't it more beautiful that you start calming down while you prepare the food, so then you can even later enjoy it more and eat more with pleasure because you already calmed your thoughts, you're more present. And in the act, shouldn't it be this sacred space, this intimate moment when we are eating, because we are giving something into our body, into our system, this body that carries us through the days. It's also an act of self-love, really nurturing it, So yeah, that was a beautiful realization, coming back to the structure. We just do pinpointing. Then we had a satsang, like a lecture of an hour. And that was really already like super informative. Like when you are like, maybe you are like a client of mine, you're a participant of my events, you will feel it, it will wave into all of my offerings, also in the content I'm sharing from time to time. I might then also refer to it. But it was so valuable information of how to truly live with an open heart. What is love? What is self-love? That was really, really beautiful. And then we had an hour and a half of Hatha yoga. So it was not this energizing flow. It was really holding in asana a long time, releasing energies, activating all the chakras. So we did like different asanas for each chakra. That was beautiful, to making the energy flow again in your body. And then we had a half an hour meditation afterwards. And in these meditations, I usually went super deep because my body was so calm, so relaxed already, the energies were aligned. That was beautiful. And then we had the 3 hours break where I prepared lunch. Sometimes I had an ocean jump, but I realized, like in the beginnings, I loved then to go into the ocean. But also in some point, I went more inward, So obviously other people were by the beach. We had like the sign that said no in silence. So making sure that people are not talking to you. It's known. It's once per month. This is a meditation retreat here. So people know it, or you just show it if someone talks to you. And I really tried to stay inward. But yeah, I felt like sometimes I was more craving going home and laying just in my hammock looking at the ocean because of this beautiful view. Journaling. So it was nice. Actually, the 3 hours passed so quick, and I realized I love spending time with myself. And isn't that one of the most beautiful things, to realize you don't depend on other people to enjoy the present moment? You can really be happy with you. This was for me also a beautiful takeaway from the retreat. And I realized I have this, or maybe you saw in my Insta stories or whatever, I have this amazing terrace with this amazing ocean view. And I finally got to appreciate it again, because I'm living here already, I think, 4 months now. So, and somehow it got normal. And now I'm again like once per day laying there. Like I start every morning there with yoga, journaling, meditation. Now I see again this ocean, and I committed to myself that once per day in the afternoon, maybe I lay a little bit there reading, because I also understood it's a longing of my soul, of my heart, to allow myself to rest from time to time, to read. And this is now something that is part of my retreat integration, that I commit, that I listen to this longing, breaking free from these thoughts of, I need to work 8 hours, I need to be hustled, I need to manage all my to-dos for the day. No. And it stressed me already just talking about it. Just like allowing it, because I also realized the less we agitate our mind, there's also learning, the easier it is to go into our heart. The less we agitate our mind, the easier it is to be aware of the different emotions that are going on, to go out of the autopilot, of also not then needing the food to numb yourself, to calm yourself down. Because when you allow yourself to rest more and not be in this hustle, and I'm not saying to not work, I'm saying to not stress yourself so much, or what you need to manage all of this. Allow yourself those moments to just breathe, because then afterwards you're way more productive, way more efficient, and you realize better the triggers, and it's easier to go back to the heart in the day to day. And then at 5 we met again for 2 hours meditation. No, at 4. At 4 we met again for 2 hours and a half, so it was until 6:30. But there we had a break. In the first days, we got explanations about the different meditation styles. So we also learned a lot about how to meditate, the techniques, like first, for example, relaxing your body, different techniques to calm the mind, different techniques to then go into the heart, be with the heart, and then they really surrender. And so we were taught about this, meditated, put it into practice. And this is also something I will readapt my way of meditating. Also, the meditations I do for myself or the ones I host, I record, they will all be influenced about it because I really experience the beauty of it, that it works, And now in the mornings when I meditate, I still hear the facilitator of the retreat, Sajananda. Let me say it's really a guru. I loved sitting with him because he is this person that shines full of compassion and love. And now I'm still in my silent meditation in the morning where I'm just like going into my heart and I hear his voice, guiding little by little, and I want to conserve it. And still, I'm living by the ashram, so I can go every morning to meditate there. Yes, this was a weird dinner break. And then there was a question and answer session. So we were not allowed to talk, but we could write on papers different questions we had to the guru, to the one teaching us, or to some facilitators there for administrative tasks. For example, if you need more pillows to sit on, if you want to maybe change something in your meal plan, if you had some pain in the back or whatever you needed, you could send them a message and they replied. Or you had like other questions about the way of meditation, about realizations you had. You could ask him, and he replied. I was asking every day like 2 questions, but there was unfortunately too many people or too many questions for the hour. So sometimes they got replied, sometimes not. And it was like I was sharing a lot about my experiences, and then the surrendering, okay, and if I identified this with my ego, but how do I really listen then to my heart on the day to day? For example, like all of these questions I made, or one day in a meditation, I really dissolved from my body. I couldn't move my body. That was so beautiful, So then I felt I needed to share and get like a reply, what happened, that. And then there was again another lecture, an evening lecture, and then we finished with a good night meditation. And then it was around 10, going home. So that was the day for 10 days. And I really enjoyed it. So about the meditation then, this may be something interesting. So as I said, we were guided into the heart, like first calming the mind, going into the heart and feel it. Feel this spanda, it's called, this beautiful sensation of being connected to yourself. You might feel a warm feeling, a little vibration, a tingling, all of this. And then really staying there and surrendering to this feeling, going deeper inwards, until then in some point we're in this bliss state, in this pure awareness, in this pure consciousness where we are one with all, where you don't really feel your body so much, but just your heart. And I always thought, this is not possible for me, this won't happen. But it happened, and I was like, wow. And it didn't happen for many people, and I'm not just saying this now to show you like, oh, I'm the coolest. No. It's because I'm practicing heart connection, meditating with my heart now so many years. So I really built this muscle of my heart already. So obviously, I started the retreat at another level than maybe someone who just starts meditating the first time in their life. Because later, after the retreat, we finished the silence, we had a sharing circle. And many people shared their frustrations, of being all the time in the thoughts, of not feeling nothing. And usually the day 8, something shifted, and that's completely fine. That's all about staying with this. And so that was like really beautiful. I had also a day where I felt this Kundalini energy getting a little activated, where my body moved a little bit. where I really was in stillness, no thoughts, and just feeling this inner light and being in your light. So for me, the meditations, that's why I said it was more about feeling than so much understanding. So I was not in my mind like understanding this in the beginning. So I also need to say, it's not that you can, or I'm not yet there that I reached the state after 10 minutes. So I'm really grateful that the meditations in the end were 2 hours, because the first half an hour I needed to calm my mind. You're like in thoughts, and then little by little more you calm them, and then you go in. So that was a unique for me retreat experience, because I'm also honest with you. I won't, on my day-to-day, I won't sit 2 hours to meditate. I think I commit to 1 hour and maybe I meditate an hour, maybe I meditate 45 minutes and then journal, maybe meditate an hour and then journal. So I have my flexibility. I give myself 1 hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning if it's needed to. And some days I wake up way more connected in my heart, and maybe I don't need so much time as when I wake up a little bit in my ego. So that was then about like the meditation experience, and how would it help me? Maybe I share it with you. I had this beautiful anecdote, metaphor, and they also taught us it, and I adapted it a little bit to what I visualized. So imagine all the thoughts that are there are clouds, the clouds in the air, and our heart and our inner essence was who we are like our heart is the gateway to our essence. So at the end of the meditations, you're really in your essence, connecting with your essence, right? And it's like this blue sky behind the clouds that is always there. We just cannot see it. And I, at some point, changed the blue sky to a sun, because I went to see the sunrise for my birthday. I will tell you about my birthday soon, but in my birthday, I cheated a little bit. I went an hour late. I went at 8 because I really wanted to see the sunrise at my preferred sunrise point here, like at a nice walk outside on the ocean, like a hill, like a national park, where I usually like to go running. So I went there running to see the sunrise. And when I arrived, there were like tourists. There are tourists arriving, like, oh no, it's so cloudy. We won't see the sunrise. Now we woke up just to see the sunrise. That like complaining, It's the most beautiful place, the most beautiful energy. You look at this vastness of ocean, and the first thing they do is like complaining. And this happens when we are super identified with our ego, when we are just in our mind, when we are not within our heart. It's a perfect example of how not being, of how not to live heart-connected, heart-centered. So, and but I was thinking, why are you complaining? The sun is behind the clouds, and it will come out in its divine timing. Maybe it's not directly, but it comes, And then I was realizing, it's like with the heart, that it's always there. And that morning, exactly. So it was so like this, and then I used this because it was like in the middle of the retreat, my birthday. Then I used this image of the sunrise while I was meditating. So imagine the clouds are the thoughts, and you're floating. You're like in the thoughts, and it's all about this inner attitude of not being frustrated that you're thinking, that you're in your thoughts, of not being like angry at yourself, of not feeling the time pressure, but now you want to meditate, that now, no, being compassionate, being kind, just witnessing it, without putting it any evaluation, just witnessing. Okay, now I'm floating in the clouds, knowing the sun comes. And then the clouds start getting these beautiful colors of orange, pinkish, of sunrise, the sun comes already. And thanks to the clouds, you have a spectacular piece of art in the sky, because you see the reflection of the different colors the sun is bringing, this pinkish, this orange. And then the clouds are not so dense anymore. They lighten up a little bit. So you see the first sun sparklings, a little bit of the sun you can already see. And this is like in the meditation, you're less with your thoughts. So you find these breaks between your inhalation and exhalation to just rest and stillness and calmness, to focus on your heart. And then again comes a thought, then again you go to your heart, again a thought, again to your heart, But you're going there little by little. And then in some points, the sun really comes out behind this carpet of clouds, let me say, and shines in this beautiful color. That's first in the morning, this beautiful orange, right? And it turns more and more into this shiny, bright yellow, white. But it's first this bright power, this fire color, this orange. And it showed me, then this is then like you're then in your heart, and seeing this heart is so much power. Our heart is so, so powerful. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it. This is another learning from my retreat. So, I mean, this is something I'm telling you all the time, and I experienced it again and again and again. And so, yeah, and then you're just seeing the sun, you just see the light in your heart. And there you just surrender. You are just allowed to be and to feel this beautiful sun. This was my way of meditation. And then when you feel the sun, you start surrendering to go more and more in the unknown, in the nothingness, in the stillness. And that is in the moments when you feel this bliss, this unconditional love. And I felt so much freedom, breaking free of all this limiting thoughts, of all these beliefs, of all these fears. This may be an insight I can share from my personal experience. So in the first days of the retreat, I think the second day, and at the beginning of the meditation, my heart showed me. So when I was navigating the clouds, my heart showed me my version of myself, the radiant Kendra, authentically shining, just feeling ease, being at ease. One of my longings, one of my deepest desires is to feel ease, during the day, to not be like in this. And I was in the last months in this hustle of, I need to do more. I need to, create more content. I need to have better results. I need to this, I need this, comparing with others. But they do this, I need to do as well, fulfilling expectations others might have of how I need to create my business, of how I need to share my mission, my vision, of how I should create my life, But I turned 34, shouldn't I now not build my house, have children, that? Shouldn't I have maybe another amount of money on my bank account, all of this. And I was it was like chains on me, like I felt like in a prison. I didn't know it. And that's like this thing in the retreat was so valuable for me. Like that was this eye-opening. That was this reset where I was talking about that. Now I'm again seeing this magic in my life and being not in this lack of everything, but being more like in this gratitude and this awe. You're like, wow, actually I love my life. Just while I'm creating this podcast, I'm looking at the ocean. Now, I have the tree and then I can see the ocean. So, wow. And then, so I saw myself, it made me so sad, it made me so sad. And then when I kept meditating at it, and this is also really something important I forgot to say about the way of meditation, maybe you don't always feel directly this beautiful tingling, this warm feeling, this vibration in your heart, in a hug. Maybe it can also be a pain you feel. And that's also completely okay. It's about holding it, surrender it to it, and not just then going out of the meditation because you feel a pain in your heart. No, stay with it, and go deeper and trust that it's a process we need to. So I that day I felt really a pain in my chest. I felt it's like really dense, like really closed. My heart was really closed, and it was not a nice. I was also sad seeing this Kendra there. So I kept breathing into my heart, allowing it to be floating in these clouds, just breathing in my heart. Imagine that there comes the light, that there comes the sun, And by this, I could soften it more and more, surrendering to this painful feeling until it came into a neutral feeling, not so close, not this pain anymore. And to then open up a little bit more again, and I could breathe again, and I could understand this change. What do they mean? And as I just already shared, all this pressure I put on myself. I don't know the word in English, neither in German. In Spanish is exigencia. Like being too demanding for myself, this perfectionism, like I have, always putting too much pressure on myself and not seeing what I already have, not seeing myself. So that was a change. And obviously they didn't go away in one meditation. But I used the meditations to sublime, to transform, right? So sublime is another technique, another word we learned there. But I think it would be going out too deep, this podcast, it will be too long. I will share this in another episode. So I really sublimed it. I wanted to transform it. But the first thing is to witness it, to just be with it and witness it. And so I witnessed it. I allowed it to be. I accepted it with an open heart. My heart was closed. So I can't say with an open heart, open mind, open heart, whatever. With an openness, with an acceptance, with compassion, patience, love. And I thought maybe I can liberate her. I can free her during the retreat, or maybe it's my job for after the retreat. Let's see. And then during the retreat, she got liberated and free. And when this happened, when I started seeing the chains losing, and I started shining again, brightening again, and with every meditation, every day, a little more. And that's actually now my process of integrating the retreat, seeing every day, the shiny version of myself in ease, asking her, how are we doing, and remembering me in my day-to-day when I get lost in the thoughts of, oh gosh, I haven't posted on Instagram now for a week, and one part of me is like, what the fuck, how can you do it? You need to work day. You need to create now 3 posts. No, and I'm like, no, what? Ciao. I will post, if I post in 2 weeks, it's also okay, always going back into the heart with love and compassion. And I'm not allowing any more the stress. I hope I can stay with this. And instead of an Instagram post, I'm now doing this podcast that really lights my heart up, So, this was one of my processes in the retreat. So it's also a way we can use our heart as this medicine doctor there, our heart is really, really, really there with us. For everything that is, it's all about, another key learning with this process, it's all about dropping the ego. And we identify on a daily basis with our ego, and that's okay. It's just about that we become aware of it, and in the moment we check it, okay, I'm in my ego, drop it, go back into the heart. And this is then the process. You can imagine what I did, all the thoughts I had that were putting me the chains on, that are limiting me. I was imagine how they travel into my heart, and they can transform in this light. And as I said, the heart is so powerful. In the end, I saw this beautiful orange sun as this fire burning in my heart. So it could really burn all of this there. And this is what I have, for example, today morning. I was a little bit, I didn't do what I wanted. I followed what others wanted. And then I had this time stress. And then I fall back in the stressed Kendra without ease. I was like, ciao, no, this cannot happen. So I take a moment. I ask myself, with what am I identified right now? Or also with version of myself, and what pattern am I falling back? And this helped me so much to understand, and then I saw all the morning situation with another perspective. I saw it through the eyes of my heart, with more ease, with more compassion, with more love, with more kindness. And then I was like, actually, it was not so bad, it was all good. Everything happens for a reason. It was a beautiful morning. I mean, I would have done it differently, but it was so beautiful in the end, So it's all good. And what was I talking about? You then just imagine that you bring it all into your heart. So one thing for me was I broke free, and in the retreat. I feel so free. Free also on food. It was another step where there was like, don't need the food to calm the emotions. Also like, and then one, because free also in this controlling and restrictive thoughts around food, being obsessed all the time, like counting calories. Can I still eat it? I mean, this I broke free a long time ago, and I'm so happy. I'm just sharing it with you so you can relate to it if you have it. It's like, it's not free when you are counting calories all the time, when you are restricting yourself. Or at the timing, you're like, oh, now it's 8 p.m. I'm not allowed to eat. Oh, no, it's 9 a.m. It's early. I'm doing intermediate fasting, whatever. But if you do intermediate fasting to do something good for your body, yes. But if you do it to lose weight, no, ciao. That's not free. But really, like in one meditation, as I said, I could not really feel my body. And finally, I understood this. You are not your body. What everyone is always saying. You are not your body. I was like, yeah, okay. What does it mean? And I felt it, I felt it like that. I'm like way more. I have this vibrating, radiant soul inside, this light, this essence. This is what I am. And the body is a temple, it's a beautiful tool, it's beautiful that it's there, that I can create this life, that I can live this life. So I was so grateful for my body that is joining me in every moment, that I'm so healthy, that it's so fit, that I can be so active, that I can live wherever I want, that I can go wherever I want, that I can do whatever I want. And then I felt so much shame, or I felt so bad about all the times I had a binge eating. I was restricting it. I made maybe even a bulimia, so I was binging and then throwing up. Not eating when I felt hungry because I thought, no, I'm not allowed to eat at this hour, or I already ate too much today, or I go to a dinner later, so now I cannot eat. All of this, or just eating while I was satisfied, but I could not deal with my emotions. So I was so stressed, so I just went to the fridge and was an autopilot. And I felt so sorry. I asked my body to forgive me, And this was also a moment where I broke a little bit free from this, but also then free from the expectations others might have about my life. And I'm unique, we are all unique. And I decided to create this type of life I'm currently living. And to be honest, I also had a moment at the retreat where I was, okay, heart, is it the life I really want? I can change tomorrow. I can do another job. I can go to another country. I can stop being a nomad. I can, for example, apply again for a job. I can do whatever. Is it really what I should do? There was this beautiful, clear yes. It's really my mission. My vision is really what I'm longing for, what my heart wants, what my soul is longing for, is to inspire others to connect with their heart, feel this magic of life again, and to heal, to break free from all this cycles of emotional eating, of binge eating, or everything we have. It can be any addiction, it can be anything that limits us to enjoy day to day, to be in joy, to be in ease, to feel the gratitude, to feel this inner peace. I felt so much inner peace and calm during the retreat. And yes, I'm not saying we need to be 100% per day, 24 hours, every second, just happy, We need all the emotions. It's this duality. Without the shadow, we cannot see the sun. So if I would not have felt today morning a little bit stressed, I would not feel so much at ease maybe now. If I never feel sad, then I won't feel loved, or happy. So, but it's about witnessing this emotion. It's about not going with it, not identifying ourselves and with all the thoughts that cause it, but taking the choice we have. We have two choices. We have one choice, is just staying with it, going deeper and deeper in this. No, I have the worst life. Everyone is lucky, but me not. I cannot do it. Or seeing it and, okay, I'm sad now. What is this? And just come back into the heart. Maybe there's this pain in the heart, but just feel breathing it and surrendering to it, and just let it be and allowing it to be. And then realize, okay, I'm not dying that it's there, and I can also be with it without needing food. and then be there. And let me see, I wrote something for this. If this is now something. No, it's just focusing on the heart, and always until it becomes more calm, and then you can feel this other feeling again. And then we have the choice to then go on with our life. And another thing I want to share is that it's not bad to be in thoughts, It's not about connecting with how is it to live with an open heart? This is maybe something I should still talk about. And it's not about thinking we just need to be in this emotional heart all the time flowing. We need thoughts. Thoughts are good. They are they help us to be logical. They are the rationality. But we need to train our mind that it's our tool we are using, that it's supporting us, so that our heart is leading and our mind is just a tool. And that our mind collaborates with our heart, but not that our ego leads our mind. That is the difference. If we are just in thoughts of identified with ego, of more and more, I need to have more and more of this, or with your fears, I cannot do this, or all this limiting beliefs, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, no one loves me, no one likes me, I need to fulfill the expectations, everyone is better, No, they're not. But having this, and then living with an open heart is this, always coming back into your heart, understanding, is this really something coming from my heart? Or am I now with my ego? And embody all these noble attitudes of our heart. That is, our heart is full of compassion, love, generosity, dedication, grace, gratitude. So embody this, being this, living in these attitudes for yourself and for others. So for yourself, it's stop this judging you all the time, criticizing, but being there, this loving person with you, and the others also with others. Have an open heart for others, and really feel that everyone is acting with the best intention they have in that moment. And then automatically we vibrate in such a different way. Our days are so different. We deal with situations so differently. It's all more it's so beautiful. And I think this is it, living with an open heart. It's all about this attitude we bring into the day, to smile inside. When this we can just do if we take daily time, if we commit. So this is all about for me and for you if you join a retreat, if you have coaching sessions, if you join any spiritual experience, I don't know, maybe doing some plant medicine, some mushroom ceremonies, or just doing a breathwork session. It's not that in that moment it's click and you're a new person and you won't go back into this challenging behaviors anymore. It's really about committing on a daily basis to live like this. You take the responsibility, and you can commit to it by really taking time on a daily basis to meditate, to journal, to be there with your heart and to understand, to observe, to witness what is currently going on. And even the retreat, they told us, it's a shift it's a mindset shift. Everyone they told us, it's not me telling it to you, but I believe it as well, I think. Everyone in a corporate world job also, or having a family, can commit to take time for themselves for 1 hour. It's about the priorities you have in your life. Do you want to watch Netflix until late? Or do you go to bed earlier and wake up at 5, for example, and have from 5 to 6 your time in the morning? It's all about seeing how you can make it happen in your day-to-day. And if you cannot commit directly to half an hour, it's fine, but do at least half an hour. And this podcast is also there to inspire you to go more into your heart and to connect, have this half an hour for yourself. And I think I'm talking so much. I will keep talking in another, because I don't want to make this episode too long. Maybe we will have a version 2, how it will flow in. Just one last thing I want to share with you. It was this. Yeah, one thing I want to keep you in mind is The door to your heart is always open. You can always start connecting to your heart. And if you don't know how and what to start, maybe listen to one of these episodes, send me a message in Instagram, do a little journaling, listen to one of my meditations, Insight Timer, whatever. The other is there's this light in your heart, and maybe you can imagine a candle in your heart that wants to be light up, I think the biggest gift you can give to yourself is saying hello to your heart. And the other is self-love. And this we talked about in the lecture about love. It's about self-awareness. It's about seeing ourselves, truly seeing ourselves, and honoring who we are, honoring all the feelings, everything, and then acting every day from this heartfelt perspective, but seeing us in love, seeing us from our heart with love, compassion, tenderness, generosity. And yes, I think this is it for now. If there's still anything you have questions about, you can send me a message anytime. So maybe take 1 minute, close your eyes, put your hand on your chest to feel this connection. Perfect. And bringing all your thoughts in your heart, seeing this light there. And just be a moment present and still with your heart. And stay there as long as you want while I finish this episode. And as soon as you gently open your eyes, keep this awareness of the heart during the rest of the day. I send you a big hug from my heart to your heart. Much love. Your Kendra. Thank you for having listened until the end.
Thank you for having listened to the Selflove Journey Podcast. Let's take one final deep breath together, right into our heart, visualizing our inner light and feeling it. Carry that feeling with you as you move through your day, just a little bit more heart connected. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share it with someone who might also enjoy it, and leave a rating. Thank you. You will find links to my offerings and other channels in the show notes, so be sure to check them out. From my heart to your heart, thank you for being here. I'll see you next week for another inspirational, heart-connecting episode.